over a century, a tradition of intercollegiate athletic excellence has been strong in central Nebraska. This is an inside look at that tradition. This is the University of Nebraska-Kearney Loper Review. Loper Review is brought to you by Nebraska Star Beef, from our family to yours.
Hello and welcome to Season 2 of Loper Review. I'm your host, Randy Bushcutter. Thank you so much for joining us. Right now, we're just a little bit east of Cushing Coliseum here at UNK. Behind me, you'll see the construction that's being done on a new wellness center that's scheduled to be completed next summer. The wellness center will provide recreational as well as wellness activities for students here on campus. Its research will also help Nebraskans from across the state as well. While the fitness center will be a major change to the UNK campus, there's also been some major changes to the Loper Athletic Department as well. There's a new man in town, the new athletic director, and we'll introduce you to him, Paul Plinske. Then we'll do double duty on our senior spotlight as we sit down with twin sisters that have been a valuable part of the soccer team. And finally, we'll take our seats for another semester of MIAA 101 with Professor Kelsey. Professor will also have our results from last month's exam as well. We'll roll that out and a whole lot more when we continue with Loper Review right after this.
Loper Review is brought to you by Nebraska Star Beef.
The Nebraska Star Beef Pure Promise. No antibiotics, no hormones, humane treatment of animals, USDA choice or higher, a price that is always fair, and satisfaction guaranteed. At Nebraska Star Beef, we pay close attention to what we feed our families and are passionate about delivering beef that you can feel good about serving to your family. Visit us at nebraskastarbeef.com for more information.
Programming is made possible in part by the Museum of Nebraska Art in Kearney. From the artist explores through the modern era to the art of today, Mona tells the story of Nebraska through the art of Nebraska. Whether you're online at mona.unk.edu or on our doorstep, there's always something new to see and do.
You're watching the Nebraska Star Beef Loper Review.
Welcome back to Loper Review. This last summer, UNK Athletic Director John McBride stepped down due to health reasons. Now, he remains on staff as a special advisor to the Chancellor, Doug Christensen. His replacement, Paul Plinske, spent the last 10 years as the athletic director at Wisconsin-Whitewater, a Division III school. Just a week into his new job as athletic director here at UNK, we sat down with Dr. Plinske. We asked him his first impressions about his first week on the job.
The biggest thing that stood out for me about UNK is the people here. Everyone from the community to the university to the athletic department has been overly receptive to my wife and I, and we're just ecstatic about the opportunity to collaborate with people and to be able to get some things done on the campus of UNK. It's important that I'm a people person, and I work really well with people, and I want to build relationships, and I think that's a key to successful organizations anywhere you go. And relationships need to be built with the community, they need to be built on campus, they need to be built with the coaches. And really in my first 3 to 6 months on the job here, I'm trying to get to know as many people as I can so that I can figure out how they get things done and what they want to get done. And so when we put the two things together, we can figure out what gaps need to be filled. And I've already identified some holes, some things that are out there that need to be improved. And we've got a wonderful administrative staff that's already been helping me kind of get acclimated and figure those things out. But there's a lot that goes into the building relationships with people, and I think that's a key characteristic. I think a second piece is that I have the ability to see details, but I also see the big picture. And I think that's important here on a campus like UNK because we rely so much on the community, but we don't want to be the sole focus here. We have to understand that we're part and parcel of the institution. we're also part of the bigger community, and the community's trying to support the high schools that are in town, trying to support, various activities, and we're a part of that. We obviously want to be front and foremost, but the big picture needs to come into context when I'm trying to make decisions and work with people on campus and in the community.
When we began the search, I told Paul Plinske that I was looking for a partner. I was looking with somebody who could work with the university and had really three traits and qualities. One is a commitment to students and the undergraduate experience, and that above all else, the spirit and fiber of Division II was the student experience.
I don't think it's any secret that you jump into college athletics to be successful. You want to win. And for us, it's going to be looking at all the variables of success, not only in the MIAA, but also in the NCAA. We want our student athletes to be successful in the classroom. We want them to stand out from others. We want them to be successful contributors to our community and to be really well-rounded individuals. So classroom, competition, and community involvement is real important to us. And so those are some benchmarks that we're going to set up for us. We can measure each of those different ways. Some programs are ultimately, at a high level in the conference and nationally. Others are at a lower level, and we need to try to bring all of our programs up to that position. When we're talking about student athletes, some of them are doing very well in the classroom and others are at a lower level. We want to get all of them to a higher level. And then lastly is we want to get our student athletes out in the community, get them engaged with people and help them provide community service to the best of their ability. The schedule is for me, is immediate. We want to do things as quickly and as fast as we can, but quite honestly, we don't want to burn bridges or destroy relationships along the way in doing that. And so we're going to have to be patient with some things. And so it may take 2 to 5 to 10 years for some of our programs to get to the point where we want them to be. Some of our programs are further behind than others, and so it's going to take a little bit more work to get to the point where we're all at the highest level possible. But my goal is to be able to balance all that, balance the great programs with the programs that need help, and be able to keep both of them elevated to an appropriate level. We want to empower our coaches, give them the resources that they need, whether it's scholarships or facilities or a coaching staff, and let them go to work and do what they're best at, and then provide that experience to the student athletes. And that's something that we hope to be able to build off of. And we also want to do it the right way. We want to be compliant with NCAA rules. We want to have student athletes that are great citizens. We want to have people who are going to contribute to the well-being of the city of Kearney. And so, I think that it will take some time to get all of us in a position where we're at the top level. But I think that it's doable because this community is thriving and fully engaged, and the campus is ready. The campus just needs a little direction, and I think we're going to ultimately be moving in that direction pretty quick.
A commitment to work with the institution and to continue and bring the university athletic department to the next level with the MIAA, with us nationally, and I think that he will easily get this done.
Well, resources are definitely a challenge. We're going to have to do some prioritization and figure out if we want to invest in our facilities or invest in scholarships. We also need to look at our coaching staff and see if we need to do more investment in our coaching staff. We want to have the best that we can offer to our student athletes, and part of that is looking at all those variables. So resources are a finite number, and we ultimately are competing against a lot of different variables that are out there. So we're going to have to identify those challenges and go after them one at a time. The goal would be to build on those strong facilities and be able to help make them more of a wow factor for our student athletes and prospective student athletes and guests that come to campus. I think there are other areas that we need to work on to be able to help, improve our current situation for our student athletes. I also think that we have a tremendous amount of administrative support on this campus. Chancellor Christensen is a great advocate for athletics and is all in when it comes to what we're trying to do here. And so he can really help us as we maneuver through the campus and try to get the help that we need, but also as we work with the MIAA and the NCAA. We're in a unique position right now in that we're offering athletic scholarships. We have really pure student athletes, and we're not caught up in the madness of Division I in the arms race. And I think that there's some purity in all of that and some excitement for me, because we're going to be able to set in motion some goals and objectives that we want to accomplish that fit the mission of UNK and the community of Kearney. I explored the coaching profession for a few years and enjoyed it. Enjoyed interacting with student athletes and liked the recruitment of student athletes and going on trips and competing. But I found that my niche was in administration. I found that I wanted to be in an administrative capacity doing athletics. And so the two have blended really well. And coaches are an incredibly passionate group of people that have great insight, and they work really hard and are really good at what they do. And especially, at the schools I've been at and ultimately here at UNK, I've been really impressed with what I've seen. And so I feel like my niche is administration, but I also have that keen eye for what it was like to be a coach and what they're going through. And I think that's really helped me. I think it's helped me understand and be able to put myself in their shoes and be able to help support them in their goals and their objectives. Was fortunate to work through and get my master's degree at University of Illinois and get my PhD at the University of Minnesota, and I did that because I felt like I could walk in the circles of the faculty on campuses of higher education, but I feel like I'm still a person, and I've had people call me Dr. Paul. I've had others just refer to me as Paul or Dr. P, or coaches refer to me in front of their student athletes as Dr. Plinske. So it's one of those things where I've always appreciated the respect that comes with the title, but at the same time, it's something that I feel has really helped me in the faculty circles to relate to what faculty are going through, and it brings a level of professionalism to an athletic administrative staff. And just like the chancellor has his law degree, I have one as a PhD, and I think it's helped us to be able to fit in and be most effective in our jobs. And so I don't use the word I'm Dr. Plinske. I introduce myself as Paul. I want to be on a first name basis with people. I don't believe in the hierarchical perception that exists. I want people to feel like we're on the same playing field and that we're in this together. And to me, there's no disrespect in calling me by my first name. We're in a college atmosphere where people are all in it together, and we're trying to help student athletes understand, the collective process that works with all individuals. And so, for me, it's a title, but it's nothing more than that. I would say to the MIAA, watch out, because UNK athletics is coming, and it's going to be a matter of time, but we're going to get our act together and we're going to be all in on this whole thing. And the exciting thing about that is if you can compete in the MIAA for top 3 in the conference, you have a chance to compete for national championships.
Well, we certainly want to thank Dr. Plinske for taking a little time out to introduce himself to us. Obviously a very busy time as he takes over the reins here at UNK. It's time for us right now to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have you sing double, sort of, as we introduce you to a couple of twins playing on the UNK soccer team. That's coming up next on Loper Review.
Loper Review is brought to you by Nebraska Star Beef.
The Nebraska Star Beef Pure Promise. No antibiotics, no hormones, humane treatment of animals, USDA choice or higher, a price that is always fair, and satisfaction guaranteed. At Nebraska Star Beef, we pay close attention to what we feed our families and are passionate about delivering beef that you can feel good about serving to your family. Visit us at nebraskastarbeef.com for more information.
You're watching the Nebraska Star Beef Loper Review.
Welcome back. Well, time right now for us to shine our senior spotlight, or should we say spotlights, on two members of the UNK soccer team. Sarah and Becka Talcott are a couple of twins who joined the UNK soccer team in only its second year of existence. When we sat down with them, we asked them, was it easier or harder to come to a brand new program like the soccer program here at UNK? Was coming into a new program like that, is that a good thing or is it a bad thing?
I think the biggest advantage is just that there's not a lot of people there like that have been there for a while, so playing time right away, you don't have to do your time and like you still earn your spot, but you have a better potential of playing right away.
Yeah, I think there's positives and negatives to coming into such a new program. There's still, I think now we're figuring out how to do things, the coaches, and just I think the university as a whole is trying to figure out exactly how things will run, but it's definitely, I think it's cool to be a part of such a new program and say that we started it from, I mean, maybe not the first year, but definitely the beginning.
Freshmen often have a tough time moving to another state, going to college for the very first time. Was having your twin sister with you helpful in dealing with that?
I think that it made it better that we were together. I mean, we had different dorm roommates for our freshman year, so we could, you know, make more friends and stuff like that, or have different groups of friends, but we still had each other to, you know, be like, where should we, you know, or any simple questions that we couldn't figure out as freshmen, but I don't know, I think it made it easier being together than going to separate schools. We kind of thought at the beginning we might go our separate ways, but then ended up coming here together.
Yeah, I agree. Initially, especially, like, you have that person there you have your first friend already, so we like went through all the new stuff together, so that was nice.
Both of you have had a tremendous amount of success individually with the UNK soccer program. The soccer program itself has made some steps forward. Have things gone for you as well as you realistically expected?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what I thought would happen. Like, we knew it'd probably be a rough start, but we've definitely progressed and gotten better, and with the new coach, I think we've done really well, and as well as we could expect, and just hope to keep getting better.
Yeah, I don't know, it's all trial and error too. I think we've had some ups and downs, but I think it's gone as well as it's expected. I mean, with the new program and, like I said, figuring everything out, it just takes some time to make it run exactly how we want it to. So it'll still take some time, I'm sure, a few years, but it's going the right way.
Last year there was a sudden change with the head coaching situation. What was that like for the team in general and both of you in particular?
I think it just kind of came as a shock when we got that phone call that we were getting a new coach, just because we weren't expecting it really. So just thinking, dang, we have to have 2 years, we just had 2 years with one coach, now we have to start over, freshmen pretty much show the coach how we play, who we are. So I don't know, it was kind of hard, and just the unknown was tough too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was definitely a shock, but I mean, I think everything happens for a reason, and I think we've gotten better from it. I mean, it's kind of stirred up our team a little bit because there was just so much going on and people didn't know what was going on, and so it kind of had some turmoil there, but other than that, I think we got through it, and I don't know, I think we'll be a better program for it.
Ari pointed out, kind of offensive, defensives. There's some differences in the two of you. Off the field, do you share hobbies, or do you still kind of show off your individuality away from the field as well?
And we listen to country
Same
music now that we
in
live in Nebraska. We didn't really do that when we were in Colorado, but now we love that. I don't know, I guess we're pretty much more similar off the field still than anything else, than different,
It's not like we live totally different lives, don't talk or do stuff together. I mean,
or have different interests. I think our interests are definitely still the same.
Yeah.
Academically, your majors, do you have similar interests there, or are you guys taking different paths?
I mean, I guess kind of similar. I'm exercise science. Don't really know what I'm going to do next. Probably go to either PT school or PA school, but going to take a year to decide and work and figure out what the next step is. So kind of still in the sports area, and she's sports administration,
yeah.
so that's...
I'm sports administration and a minor in marketing management, so I'm still kind of undecided on exactly what I want to do with that, but I guess we're both trying to stay in the sports area just because once soccer's over, we still want to be around that kind of thing.
What have been your best experiences at UNK up to this point?
I think just being a part of a team, like it's a family, and just all the stuff we do together, traveling, and just all the experiences we have, and just the bonds you make is the best part. Like I can't imagine being in college and not being on a team and having that group of people that you're so close with. So.
Yeah, I think we have some friends that don't play sports or aren't really very involved in the university or any clubs or anything, and I just think that our experience has been so much, I don't want to say better, but I think it kind of has, because we have, I don't know, those memories and those friendships and stuff from soccer especially, but I don't know, just being more involved with what's going on here has made our experience
that much
better, yeah.